who else is going to be there? The G-Men. That's right. The G-Men have been called. That's okay. That's acceptable. That's what we like to do. That's what we like to see. That's how we'd like to broadcast. Every time we go live at 5, even though it's 5:07, that's fine. You are now dicking around with the Dicking Around podcast. My name is Philbo. That was like poetry, by the way.
That really was. Like,
Can I get some snaps? Can I get some snaps? I appreciate that. Yeah.
But you also sounded like this. You sounded like like you were in a Tarantino movie.
Like Louis Armstrong was giving the intro.
I see skies are blue.
Blue. Red road is new. I love how, like, was it last week that we made fun of him, like off camera? Yeah, that shit's hilarious. Honestly, like, what a guy. And guess what? Oh shit! You know what that means, Joshua? Oh shit!
What are you doing to me?
She's like, nah, dog, get schwasty.
She's like, no, you're taking a shot with me, bitch. All right.
Well, the queen demands it.
Well, we'll have to cheers to Thundercat then.
Hell yeah!
Bring us in.
Bring us in, Thundercat.
Bring them out. Bring them out.
What were we singing? Oh, we ready? Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't ready for that.
No, you weren't. You were not ready at all. You're like, I've been sick. I need to drink water. She's like, bitch, take a shot.
Take a shot. All right. Thundercat, cheers. Wish you were here.
Wish you were here.
I wish you were here.
Incubus.
I fucking love Incubus. But
honestly, Incubus is pretty good. When I was a kid, I didn't like them because I thought they were like pop because I didn't understand that they had a large library. I was an idiot.
Right.
Some things never change.
But that was the same as me. And I was like, they got some hard ass shit going on. And then I listened to them and then I was like, yeah, but they're just a jam band. So it's like,
yeah,
like
they are kind of a jam band, but with some great hits.
Yeah, but they have great hits, but they never play them. They just play, like, when they play live, they'll play like a 15-minute song that does nothing. They'll just play like fucking like weird like background music and weird colors coming at you and shit. It's like hopefully you're on mushrooms. You're not gonna like it. Like,
hopefully you're tripping balls. Otherwise, it's not quite the same experience.
Right. If you want to hear them play "Pardon Me," well, I hope you like the extended 35-minute version.
The 35-minute version of "Pardon Me."
Right. The 3-minute song just expanded.
Yeah. The 38-day version of Anomaly.
Right. And if you guys keep clapping and you guys keep falling on the ground and like having seizures and shit, then they'll just keep going. So nobody's gonna stop them.
Right.
Because they basically play for free at this point. But like because they're on acid too. But Thundercat, appreciate you. I know it's going right back into the bank, but let's keep the shit. Let's keep the train on the tracks.
It's important to have the bank, you know what I'm saying?
It is. And before I smoke my cigarette, if you don't mind, I'm going to make a drink. If you want to give them a little bit of a rundown of what we're going to talk about.
All right. Well, first, apologize to TikTok.
I apologize for nothing.
You got to apologize to TikTok because you know why? Because you're about to start smoking, and TikTok's going to lose their fucking collective mind.
China no trustworthy, and TikTok can suck my ass.
You heard it here first, folks. Start sucking ass. All right, so we got a great episode for you today. And you know what? I just about said, you know what? Let's throw everything out the window and just talk about music again. It's so tempting to do that every fucking episode.
Let's do another Rage Against the Machine episode
with Incubus.
Rage versus Incubus.
Ooh, I mean Rage, but
it's Rage by a long shot.
All right, episode's over. Everybody go home.
All right.
No, we're good.
Look, everybody subscribe. Everybody go pick out some merch.
Right.
Check us out on Apple or on what is it? Apple Podcasts. I don't do this shit.
So. Apple TV.
Well, we're not on Apple TV yet.
Yeah, we will be. We'll be the exclusive Apple TV podcast. I'm down.
That's not a bad angle.
Hashtag sponsored. It's not a bad angle. All right, so
I love you
let's
too, Thundercat. Good to see you.
kick it off, Josh. Here's the world.
So here we go. Look, here's to all of our beautiful subscribers, including my beautiful Thundercat. We love all the rest of you just the same. Not really, because you don't suck my dick. But we
There is
also
that.
love, yeah, there's that one little caveat. But we also we love all of our followers. Thanks for tuning in and doing all you do. Everybody that's watching, hit those buttons and we'll do some crazy shit for you. Also, check out our merch. But I'm not really getting to that because there's that little dick motherfucker that didn't show up to my house to do the show today. So shout out to him. And cheers to everybody. We're gonna kick it off. Let's get it done.
Cheers, everybody. Sorry, my dog's in the background too.
It happens.
It happens. He's such a good boy, though. What are you gonna do? So let's kick it off, buddy. What we got going on today first? You want to talk about? You want to get into the stories, or you want to talk about Conan O'Brien?
Well, I know you want to talk about Conan, so just let.
I do want to talk about Conan, and not
just let it loose, bro.
Yeah, Conan, and not the '80s Schwarzenegger films that were just complete trash.
Just let it loose.
All right, so Conan O'Brien. So here's the thing about Conan O'Brien, right? So Josh and I we kind of have similar opinions on Conan, I think, for the most part. Like, I've never really thought he was all that funny. Also, most people probably don't know who he is, so I apologize, TikTok in advance, because probably nobody has any idea who the fuck we're talking about. Maybe I should pull up a picture of him.
Fans, yeah, all our 16-year-old fans, listen, just pay attention.
Yeah, so no, Conan O'Brien. So he was a writer for The Simpsons. That's kind of like how he got really famous. I think he did something before that, but like that's how he really started making his moolah in Hollywood. And then he hosted a late night show for several years. It actually took over for Jay Leno briefly once he retired, before I guess Jimmy Fallon took over. He had a really brief stint as that. I think it was it like 2 or 3 years as the Tonight Show host, something like that.
Yeah, it was short. It was like 2, maybe 3. Yeah,
it wasn't short enough. Anyway, so because he definitely ain't no Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson can fucking tear it up. Anyway, so Conan O'Brien, like I said, late night show host. He still has a show, like, and apparently he has a channel now, which is what got me thinking about him today. He's got it, like, there's a whole thing you can subscribe to, the Conan O'Brien channel or some shit like that. So I kind of cracked the code though, because I'm like, I don't think he's a scumbag. Like, I don't think he's a piece of shit. I don't think he's not like one of those. He's not like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that'll just blow you off. You know, I don't know if he's a nice guy, but he just doesn't seem like a mean guy. And he's not full of complete shit like Jimmy Kimmel is. So he I kind of thought about it for a while, and I was like, all right, so Conan O'Brien, he's not a funny comedian, but he is kind of a funny guy. And the reason I say that is because he always does so much better when he's out, like he just has these, like, you know, clips that you see online where he's just like talking to people, or like the stupid Jerry Seinfeld show where like comedians in cars getting coffee. Like, he always seems to do better in just a candid situation where he's just talking to people, like having a good time, just chilling out, being one of the boys. Like, he always seems to do better in those situations. Anytime you get him scripted in front of a show, and like he's a writer, so like he's helping, I'm assuming he writes some of his own content, I just feel like it's like the most milquetoast, bland, boring bullshit. Hashtag that. Bland, boring bullshit. The 3 Bs.
He's a late night guy.
Right.
A late night guy.
Right. But it's not even like, I also know you, I don't think you like Jay Leno that much. I'm also not Jay Leno's biggest fan, but he also had just a little something extra. Like, he had a little flair, a little pizzazz, if you will. I don't know what it is.
Well, I'm also, I mean, I have to, out of any of the late night people, I have to lean towards Jay Leno because I'm a car guy. And
he's a huge car guy.
No, he's like the biggest car guy that's ever existed.
Yeah, he might be, actually.
No, he's like, he drives around a fucking Duesenberg.
Yeah.
Like,
he's got all kinds. Doesn't he? He owns something like 500 cars or something like that. It's crazy.
Oh, it's more than that. Adam Carolla actually, he filmed a segment, and it was one of his 5 garages. And like a third of that garage was just Duesenbergs. Which
Jesus.
I don't know if you know what that is, but that's like literally the old ones where you had to pull the choke out like a fucking lawnmower,
Oh
and
Lord.
you have to like use hand controls for it and shit. But like
it's like you're operating like basically a military glider instead of a car or like a tank.
right, yeah,
All
no,
the levers.
it's like yeah, it's basically like a World War I tank, or like
right.
you're just like clutch here, like you're using your
Right.
hand for a clutch, and you're just doing all this crazy shit, pulling out levers like it's a cigarette lighter, but it's actually the throttle.
It's like one of those like circus pianos where like you just like pull it, it goes whoop woo.
Yeah.
Oh, bang, honk, honk. You know, it's like one of those things. Dude, first of all,
Yeah.
how come we don't have, I feel like circus pianos are a highly underappreciated piece of Americana there.
They really are.
They went out way too soon, I think. I feel like they still have common
You
applications.
mean the ones that
hit.
play themselves?
Yes. They put, and then somebody just sits there and hits like, you know, levers and buttons and shit, and it goes like whoop whoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe there's like a steam whistle on it or something for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. But no, I remember like if we're talking about Conan, like for me, he's never been anything special for me. And I don't watch late night TV. Like I don't watch TV anymore anyway, but if I do, it's, you know, the same way everybody else does with Netflix or Hulu, and I'm not watching it on time, and I'm not taping it on a VHS tape or something.
Right. Exactly.
Like I'm not catching it live, but you know, if I accidentally watch it, it comes off after the Braves game, like I you know, I get to check it out, but at the same time, the funniest thing that he's ever done was in the summer of 2006, right after I graduated. And that's when it was an ad for something, but he was literally in a man thong and a bra.
Who was
And
this?
he was
Conan?
yeah.
Huh.
And he was doing an ad, but he just kept saying, and he was doing it in a German accent. So, you know, I know Zipillos. Zipillos. But no, he was just vroom vroom party starter. Like he was in like the and he had the little hat on, you know, talking about like the leather BDSM kind of look.
Let's see if I can find this. Hold on. Conan,
like,
what was the ad? Do you remember?
I don't remember who it was for. I just remember he was going vroom vroom party starter. Like
Huh. Right, let me see if I can find it real quick.
And it may have been TBS, but it was.
It seems to be a whole thing. Hold on, let me pull up the screen for the children. Let's see here. Yeah, there's kind of this thing. He's like in it's more like I don't know how to describe it. There's a whole video, I guess. This is there's fire on the ground. What the fuck? What was going on in this ad? And it's a Bud Light commercial. And he's wearing like makeup and shit. What are you doing to your microphone right now? I need you to get it together. Damn. Uh-oh. He ain't got his shit together. Did the entire thing like collapse as soon as I looked away? Oh god. Something Wong, by the way, on TikTok says we don't have any fans, and I wonder why that is.
Something Wong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't either, buddy. Keep moving.
Yeah, but that's interesting. So I guess a Bud Light commercial. Honestly, like the 2000s Bud Light campaigns, like they just did random shit like that. They're kind of good. Can't complain about it too much.
A lot of them are really good.
Yeah.
Like they did the whole god damn it.
Siren, Jesus Christ. You're our number one fan because apparently Ramming Speed just left. So it's up to you now to hold it down. And apparently Josh can't get his shit together. This is why we're on 30 minutes before, by the way. Just so Josh can not fuck around with his microphone, I guess.
No. God
all right, hold
damn
on.
it.
I gotta mute him. He's being naughty. So so Conan O'Brien, dude, like definitely a funny guy, but not necessarily a funny comedian. I think that's like been his overall downfall. Just kind of driven us where we're at. Honestly, I'm kind of enjoying just watching Josh fuck around on the screen for a hot minute. I have no idea what he's doing. Also, yeah, I guess it sucks. We were supposed to have Mater today, but Mater didn't show up. For all you fans that we don't have, Mater is generally a pretty drunk North Carolina motorcyclist who randomly shows up at Josh's house and helps us out with stuff like that. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I do like this ad though. Well, maybe it was a Super Bowl. Maybe it was a Super Bowl ad. Although I guess I don't really understand like the vroom vroom. I wonder if there was a reference to something. I don't know. Like Mazda. That would have been much funnier if it was a Miata ad. Vroom vroom. I love that. Or no, I guess it was Zoom Zoom. That was the Mazda. That's the Mazda thing. I don't know what their slogan is now. Oh, hold on. I gotta unmute you real quick, Josh, because I had to mute you because all I heard was just shuffling around for 45 minutes. So there you go. Stop touching it. Let the girthquake just chill out in front of you now.
Good lord.
Honestly, we should you know what we should name the microphone is Chris.
Yeah, no shit.
All right, stop touching it. Jesus Christ.
No, if we could ever get the if we get what was it? The
girthquake?
God, no. The dick hamper, the dick diaper, the dick sweater.
Oh, the dick sweater. The dick diaper. Oh god, I love that one way better.
If we get that, we could name this after ramming, but until then, jury's out.
Oh, then.
But
he's been MIA, dog. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
No, I'm trying to do my best. Like my little setup kind of fucked up, but I just love how like Slaying Siren barely showed up, and then you said somebody on TikTok talk shit, and she's like, "Oh, you got fans."
All right, exactly. But she also said it sarcastically, so.
But she's here.
Oh, that's true. All right. So what else you got on Conan for me besides the vroom vroom?
No,
commercial
I just think
from 45 years ago.
No, he's literally he's the epitome of not being funny and still somehow being around. Because I don't know, that's what I've always seen, and late night TV isn't my thing anyway, because it's like all it is taking the day's events and making fun of other celebrities, and you expect to be loved. Like, I mean, Johnny Carson, he did it right, and he brought people on and showed them love. But at the same time, like once it went through the 90s and into the 2000s, into the new millennium, it turned against it. And then you have celebrities like that are actually funny, like Paul Rudd, that just ruins the show every time.
Yeah, Twitch. Paul Rudd is pretty funny. He's actually kind of a funny guy. Although I don't think he's like, and I don't think he's fake funny, because like I have a really hard time imagining if Ryan Reynolds is actually funny or if he's just like, because he's also like, he's funny and like people are like, oh, he's like so edgy, but like he's not. Like he's edgy in like a safe way almost. Like it's really hard to, I don't know how you feel about that.
But I feel like Paul Rudd is a little bit different. Like he doesn't really give a fuck. He's got more like fuck me money than fuck you money.
That's true.
Like just a thing that he's done lately. Like I don't know. Like his appearances ruining Conan's show or not ruining, but like putting little spin on it is anytime he shows up. Yeah, Paul Rudd. And anytime Paul Rudd shows up on the Conan show, and he's premiering a new movie, he uses the same clip every time.
Oh, does
And
it?
it's the same clip, and it's from that awful 80s movie with the little alien that's not ET, but like, and the kid in the wheelchair flies off the cliff.
Oh wait, I think I know what you're talking. God, I do know what you're talking about. The movie that literally everybody says is like one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, MST3K actually did it.
Oh, did
So
they?
yeah, you know it's bad.
Oh god, I didn't realize it was. How was it in the public domain? Or maybe they got licensing to do it.
I don't know, but it's bad.
That is pretty
But
fucking bad.
but every time, like he builds it up, everybody knows it's coming. If you know the history, you know it's coming. But they always act like it's a surprise. But he'll never actually like he never promotes his own movie on Conan. And the backstory on that is Conan has to have him on because he's an A-lister, and if he has to come on, or
Right.
the producers want him there, he has to be there. But Paul Rudd does not like Conan at all, and they have to laugh it off. But he just does the same fucking thing every time, which is even more funny.
That actually is pretty funny. I think, and I guess the more that I think about it, I guess the reason why I think Conan just is just friends with a lot of celebrities by now. I think that's probably why like he's popular like with the Hollywood types, like which is why he's had the show for forever, regardless of wherever the fuck his ratings are at. Like, and I guess that's the reason why he didn't really make it on the Tonight Show, because like NBC was like, I don't care who you're friends with, I don't care if you've sucked Harvey Weinstein's dick 37 times, we need ratings on this motherfucker.
Right.
I think that might
Well,
just be the big difference.
well, yeah, I think the network, like being on cable, is a little bit different, which kind of shifted. But you know,
Right.
him like being on TBS mainstay, like Mr. Turner, he's just like dance monkey dance. It doesn't matter. Like, you just keep, because like his whole shtick is like he's not funny, and anything he ever says that's funny is written by someone else. But you
Yeah.
know, he's the one host, I think the one late night host that never gelled his hair, so he can just do this and
Yeah, I
like
guess you're right.
and shake his hair back and forth. And I don't know, like he's never entertained me. I don't think, like, unless it
No,
was solicited by Bud Light, which that was funny. The vroom, vroom, party
that is pretty funny.
it was funny, but like anything that he does is he's like the court jester, but he's the one that would have actually been beheaded in the 1600s. Like,
Right.
you're not that funny.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, and I think as far as like late night hosts go too, I mean, he's definitely not the worst, but I don't. If maybe we should create one of those tier charts, like A
No, we can create
tier.
a tier chart because I know who
Yeah,
the worst is.
Jimmy
And
Kimmel.
that's Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah, Jimmy.
100%.
Actually, well, if we're talking about as a person, yes. Although if we're talking about quality of show, then I think Seth Meyers might take the cake for last place because his show sucks.
Which is bad because like Seth Meyers is funnier than they are.
Right.
And
I think it's just because I think Seth Meyers just became more political over time, being
yeah,
an SNL for 30 years.
but yeah, that's like that's the Jimmy Fallon conundrum is
Right.
you got a line with the wrong people and you suck the wrong dick, and now you got to say shit you don't really think.
You mean Jimmy Kimmel, not Jimmy Fallon.
No, and Jimmy Fallon.
I always thought Jimmy Fallon was a moron. I didn't realize he turned into one over time. you mean the random lieutenant from Band of Brothers, that Jimmy Fallon?
Hop on, let's take a ride.
Oh.
He's so hard R that they actually had to drag the Jeep but with a tractor because he didn't know how to drive a 4-speed.
It's funny though, is like with Jimmy, like it's nobody's ever broken character more times. Like that's the big thing about Jimmy, and that's the other thing that I don't understand. Why the fuck did they just keep like? Why was he still employed at SNL if the only thing he does consistently is break character? Like every single fucking skit, he just laughs, which is like
Right.
it can like it's not that it's not funny, but it's also like it just takes away from like if you're not laughing the whole fucking time, it definitely takes away from the whole skit like together.
But
So
he's
dumb.
also not that funny, and that's the
Right.
same people that told Norm Macdonald he's not funny. So
Right, exactly.
like,
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick with all that because there was
Yeah.
a couple good classes that came out of SNL, but Jimmy Fallon was not a part of that.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think and it's like Lorne Michaels. Like I don't really know what to think about him. I think he's kind of he's definitely a fair weather fellow. First of all, again with the alliteration, I'm on my A game today. But like he's because they threw off what was that kid that they threw off before he even got started? What was his name? Shane Gillis or something? Not Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis, yeah.
Shane Gillis.
Yep.
I don't know if that's the right guy. Is it?
I believe it is. Yeah.
I don't. I think it's Shane. I think it was somebody else. I don't think it's Shane Gillis.
Either
But
way,
anyway,
way more famous now than he was before he got kicked off of SNL after doing nothing.
oh, it is. It is okay. No, it was Shane Gillis. Never.
Yeah, it was Shane Gillis because because one like I don't know, super fan of SNL researched him and sent emails into SNL and was like,
and the guy, no, it was literally. I remember this because he went on it. Was it Artie Lang's podcast? He talked about it on. The guy's a fucking poet.
Yeah,
the guy that got him canceled is a poet. Which is like the funniest fucking thing ever. And now Shane's probably makes more money than the entire cast of SNL does.
Put together,
yeah, because he's got his own show. I don't. What's the name of his show?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
They got a bunch of them, like the Kill Tony shit, the Bad Friends, or whatever.
Yeah. He does a lot of like TV quality skits. I don't know if it's like is it Tires? I guess that might be what it is.
Maybe, but no, he. The biggest mistake that they made was not allowing him on the show, and the biggest break of his career was them not allowing him.
Right,
on the
I know
show.
Exactly. Which is just
then,
so like the irony there. He made way more money never going to SNL.
Right. And then he got to make the laps on all the podcasts. Like he's a big friend of Bert Kreischer now. Like he's like these guys that do stadiums are like, hey, do you want to come on tour with me?
He's like, yeah.
He's like,
do I want to make a fuck ton of money? Yeah, I do. So let's do it.
Is there going to be beer, hookers, and hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes.
Right.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Sign me up.
I'm not a big Shane Gillis fan. I mean, you know, it sucks what happened to him, but at least he was the part of like the movement that pushed back. That was like,
right.
All right, you can cancel me, but guess what? These guys don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Like he kind of like it was kind of about the same time that oh god, why am I blanking on his name? I literally had it at the tip of my tongue. The guy with the you got the allegations with Sarah Silverman and all those other people. And he really didn't even do anything. Louis. Jesus Christ. Louis C.K. So
Louis C.K.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think it was like right about that time because it wasn't like 20. They said it was 2019, like when they fired him, according to the internet. So I think it was like about that 2019, 2020.
It was pure Me Too. Like that's all it was.
With Louis or with Shane?
With Louis.
Well, it wasn't even, and that's the thing. Like, it wasn't even. It was more, I guess, in that sense. Yeah, it wasn't like it really. People didn't necessarily come out and speak out against him. I guess they kind of did, but it was more of just the movement itself versus individuals saying that they were.
Which is weird. You know, you never want to be that guy. Like,
I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, like, when they're right, and you have to come out and say, like, yeah, no, that happened. Like,
yeah, exactly.
His thing,
it's like, yeah, I did tell them to stand there while I jacked off, and it did happen.
Right. I did ask if it was okay, and they just said, I don't know, and then I just did it anyway. And it's like, it's right. There's not going to be any like federal charges. There's not going to be any like Senate debates over this. It's just No, I just pulled my dick out of my pants and said, "Hey, I'm gonna jack this while you watch. Is that okay?" and, then,
They were like, "What?" And then he just did it.
and then he just
You
did
don't
it.
want to be that guy. I mean,
Don't be that guy. Just
don't
be that
ever
guy.
put yourself in that situation. I mean, there's really no reason to be there.
Listen, there's a lot of things you can do to get in trouble for, and that are a lot more badass than that. Let me tell you that.
I mean, if you're gonna go down, make it badass, and that's just like weird, more than
Right.
anything.
That's just like, look, even the bros aren't gonna have your side.
I know. They're like, wait.
Like,
You did what now? Why though? Why didn't you just, try to have sex with her or something?
Right, exactly. It's like if I ask a certain question, they say yes, then I'm not jacking off anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. It went the other way. But
right.
It went the other way where it's like you just stand there and fucking watch. Like
I guess that's how it gets off. Like, is it like a voyeur thing? I know he's probably talked about it extensively.
Well, I mean, Sarah Silverman didn't hold her tongue. Is like he's got a tiny dick, so it wasn't anything to look at. So, which is brutal. But
yeah, she came hard for him. Also, but Sarah Silver is also a massive cunt. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
No, she is. I mean, she's just like the one Amy Schumer. It's like, oh, I said pussy fart, and it's funny.
I think I think she's. At least I think she used to be talented, unlike Amy Schumer, who was never talented.
Yeah. Well, I will take that back. I won't apologize for it, but yeah,
please don't.
Sarah Silverman, she was always funny, but she did a lot of political jokes, which I don't really get into.
Yeah. Why get into it? There's no point.
I don't get into it, but that's like she made her living doing that. She's very astute, and she's very she has that cunning to her to where she can just say, Joe Biden's got a limp dick and get a standing ovation, and that's I don't really like the dick and fart jokes, just like you don't. I like my male stand-up comedians, I don't like the dick and fart joke kind of stuff.
Right. I don't like it either. I've never been a big fan.
I'm saying I did when I was 19, but I don't now.
I did when I was 12.
Right. I mean, I said up until the age of 19.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then, and then Blue Mountain State brought me back for a small portion of my life.
Right, but like they do it do it in a tasteful is not the right word. But it's like they do it in a new and interesting way, I guess.
It's well written and it's well acted.
Right, exactly. Even though it's cliche, because at this point all comedy is cliche. Like they still put their own spin on it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't go the other route either with like John Daly. I mean, he's gone crazy. Jon Stewart's gone crazy.
Lower your mic just a little bit. I'm gonna tell you this is the one time I'm gonna tell you to actually touch it. There you go, right there. That was like sound effect worthy, is what that was. Like that's gonna be a stock sound going forward.
There you go. We're gonna turn into a rock jock kind of thing.
No, we're not doing that. By the way, shout out Don Baez, who's chilling out in the TikTok chat. But yeah,
Jon Stewart. I mean, like what the things that he says actually, I feel like grounds comedy. And
yeah, I feel like Jon Stewart, even though like he's always been political, but I feel like he used to be funnier about it, and then at some point he just became just like everybody else. But he just became like everybody else.
No, he just got butthurt about it, and now everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he makes sense." I'm like, he's always made fucking sense, but he's not funny anymore.
Right,
now
exactly.
He's a fucking downer, and I don't want to hear what he has to say because he's not an elected official. He's not running for any type of public office.
Exactly. But he treats it like a campaign. Like to your point, like he might as well be running for office because that's how he treats it.
Yeah, if you want that kind of voice, then run for some shit, say some shit, do some shit.
Right.
But if not, shut the fuck up. go back to like making fun of everybody else that's doing it and just shut the fuck up.
Right, exactly. And that's the yeah. I feel like although I will say the one thing he gets a pass on forever is he is the advocate for like the World Trade Center survivors. So like, cool. Or I should say the 9/11 survivors.
I mean, we all have an uptick, but
right? Do we?
You know, we all suck mostly, but
sometimes even Jimmy Kimmel. I was gonna say, be careful there, buddy.
I mean, he pretty much is an unflushable turd, but
it's not that it's Siren. I will say so. Were you saying you feel like politics just got so bad everywhere and it's more sad and scary now than funny like it used to be? It's not. It's. I would argue that it's actually the exact same as it's always been. The difference is like the people who have a platform or an audience are more serious about pushing their views than before. Where like they used to respect the public domain a little bit more. Now it's just everybody has to get their point across, regardless of whether or not it's valid or even, you know, intelligible.
Yeah, I agree. And we should probably get off the topic because this is not a political podcast.
Right. It's not. It's not.
We just, you know, but if we talk about comedians and comedians bring it up so often, it's like some of them take it more seriously than others. But if you take it seriously, at least be funny. Like,
and that's the thing. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with like, it's the same reason why we don't like Stephen A. Smith anymore. Because it's like, why? What the fuck are you talking about? What does this have to do with anything?
That's one thing. Thanks for bringing that up. That's one thing that we should talk about is I was forced to agree with Stephen A.
I think you mentioned that already. But I don't remember what you said, so go for it.
It's the Caitlin Clark shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, aren't they? So, okay, so hold on. So let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a second. I've seen shit online where people are saying that, like, they're, like, purposefully hurting her and stuff, like, in the WNBA or something like that. Like, they're coming after her. Yeah. But not like physically in the game. They'll, like, punch her or something, just randomly.
It's not punching her, but, like, people, like... I think the last time was the like Phoenix Who Gives a Fucks, and it was.
I'm sorry, that was
funny. And her name was like Shanandra Who Gives a Fuck,
right?
And then she actually just body checks Caitlin Clark, and it was an off-ball foul. Like it was just she was standing on the 3-point line, didn't get the ball. Her team shot the ball, and her. The Shanandra Who Gives a Fuck, her big ass center bitch gets the ball, and then she just
wham. Then she just punches her.
Just shoulder checks the fuck out of her out of bounds.
Yeah.
And look, I had her back. I had her back for a while because she said, "I'm just here. I want to play ball. I don't want to get hurt. I just want to play ball like, the right way." And then that Shanandra, whoever gives a fuck, like what. I forget her name, but nobody ever knew her name. No,
exactly. Nobody ever
knew her name, and she averages like 3 points and 4 rebounds a game. Right. It's like nobody gives a fuck. Why are you doing this? And I had her back until I think it was 2 days ago, and Caitlin Clark actually came out and said, she said, "I don't ever remember," and this is. I don't fuck ESPN. We can just say that. Fuck Disney.
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
ESPN. Fuck China. Like
we roll it out. That. Bryce Harper's chop. China chop. ESPN chop.
ESPN chop. Stephen A. Smith chop. But she came out and said, "I don't remember when Jordan." I think she said Jordan, Bird, and Magic came into the league. I don't remember them getting bullied. And I'm like, first of all, bitch, you've played 12 games. You're not allowed to put your name amongst these people.
You don't remember them getting bullied because the press doesn't report on rookie hazing. And Larry Bird was too busy bullying the shit out of everybody to get bullied.
Right. And also, Chipper Jones is a Hall of Famer, and he got peed on by Greg Maddux in Game 2.
Also, yeah. Again, it happens all the time.
It happens. You just got to hold the fuck on. But at the same time, you had, I think they actually promoted on Reddit that she played. It wasn't Phoenix. It was like the Houston Who Gives a Fucks, and
I forgot about them.
Yeah. Or maybe it was the Sacramento Who Gives a Fucks.
Right.
But Captain Barbosa, welcome to the team. But I guess I got to take a shot. But
do you? You're like, fuck it, I want a drink.
God damn it. But no, I was on her side up until then. And
right, because at that point you're just bitching and complaining, especially about like, because there's one thing. It's one thing to be like you could have just risen above it and been like, just continue to be like, I'm here to play. Like, if people want to try to stop me from playing, then you're gonna have to try to stop me on the court, and you can get as many technicals as you want. You can only get 5, and you're out. You know, like she should have said something to be like cold and calculated. Be like, come get me, motherfucker. Like, you know where I'm at every Saturday night. Let's do it.
Right.
I'm in the paint.
I'm saying is like everybody was on her side, and like, that's what I hate is like. Bryce Harper made me, or I'm sorry, Angel Hernandez made me be on Bryce Harper's side one time.
Right.
And
you'll never forgive him for that.
I won't. And Caitlin Clark, we've already talked about her several times on this podcast, but she made me be on Stephen A's side one time. It's like, listen, you don't get to play 12 games in the WNBA and say that you're like and mention the names of Jordan, Bird, and Magic.
You gotta back off the mic a little bit. You keep cutting out. So, but yeah, I agree. It is, yeah. She should have just fucking knuckled up, man. Just get it done. Throw the ball, shoot the hoops.
Yeah, they're talking about different stuff now, but you know, it was always going to be a different topic, and we're on TikTok, so we're not going to get hate speech, but.
Well, we might.
We might, but at the same time, you're actually giving them the limelight. Just shut the fuck up, take your licks, and the thing that I agree with Stephen A. Smith on is like, look, you're a rookie, take your licks,
right?
But also, I agree with him as far as your teammates
twice in one message. Damn.
No, I'm saying. Your teammates, like that 7'2" white Slovakian bitch should have came out and thrown some bows.
Right, exactly.
And like the one that
get the goon on the paint,
the one that doesn't do anything, the one that smells up the fucking locker room, like that's the one that you get out there and just throws bows.
Right.
And it doesn't matter who she catches, but you get the message.
Right, exactly. And that's why hockey is a beautiful sport.
That's why hockey, like the era of the goon, like late 80s to early 2000s, the era of the goon in hockey is one of the greatest sports eras in any sport of all time.
Did you just turn yourself up?
No.
You just shot through the roof, volume wise. That's okay. But yeah, dude. I mean, that's why hockey is like will forever be one of the best sports ever, because it literally has it built into the fucking rules where it's like, you want to fight? Just go fight it out.
No, where you do something wrong, and if they say no, then your own team calls you a pussy.
Right, exactly.
Unlike baseball, where it's just like everybody gets in a tizzy and everybody just kind of does this little like, it ain't the butterfly, it's a Tootsie Roll.
Come for me, baby. Yeah.
Right. And then and then somebody on the bench hits a coach, and then nobody cares.
And then somebody gets thrown out for not saying anything.
Right.
And not knowing who's getting thrown out. All right, well, we actually do have stories. That was a pretty good 45-minute just vent sesh. That was pretty solid. Let's get to the titular story.
I can do it again. It ain't the butterfly, it's the Tootsie Roll.
Let's get to the titular story. Tits being the operative word here. So so there's this remote tribe. So there's this couple of articles out here from the big news sources. This one happens to be from the New York Post. Remote Amazon tribe finally connects to internet, only to wind up hooked on porn and social media. So these guys, there's a whole thing about it. There's several tribes in the Amazon. They're not very big, but they're completely cut off from the outside world for the most part. They're very protected under Brazilian and international law, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not reading from the article, just giving you guys background info. And they're completely uncontacted. They don't have technology, modern technology. They live in basically like huts, and they live much like their ancestors did thousands of years ago. They have limited connection to the outside world. Sometimes, and a lot of times anthropologists will go and visit them. And sometimes they get killed and eaten or stuff like that. Stuff like that happens.
They'll bring them like hustlers or playboys, stuff like that.
Right. And they get the best coconuts in the harvest that season.
Yeah, it's a different speed from what we're talking about.
Right. But here's the thing. So Elon Musk has put up Starlink satellites, which are basically...
let them know this is bathroom break number 1. I got to go.
Okay. So here also, I will say, so I actually saw a Starlink launch a couple nights ago when I was on Hilton Head, and it was really cool. We thought it was a comet because the entire fucking sky lit up with this like red trail. It was really cool. So anyway, so it's these satellites that provide satellite internet. So because it's satellite internet, obviously you can use it remotely, and so no matter where you're at on Earth, like as long as you can get a satellite connection, basically, so as long as you're in like a heavily wooded area or like a cave or something, you can get satellite connection. And you can go to the internet. You can go on the internet. You can go on Wikipedia. You can Google search, get the Google AI assistant that everybody loves so much, and then you can also go on Pornhub, which is what these tribes people did. And it's actually like kind of low-key kind of sad, but it's also hilarious because it's kind of like started to break down the structure of their tribe a little bit. So they have 2,000 members in the tribe, and they got the internet about 9 months ago. They were able to finally get internet access. Now, what happened was the tribe people, like the tribe's elders, were like, oh, when they first got here, it was great. But now things are pretty bad. Like the young people got lazy. Like they're always just on the internet. And this quote, they're learning the ways of the white people, which I think is pretty funny. It's like the internet being like a white person thing is just a funny concept. The Marubo, they're also like, they're pretty chaste. They don't like PDA in public.
And now it's mainly like procreation, right?
Right. I don't know. I don't know if that's how the standards of the tribe are.
That's what I was reading is like, not that article, but a different article was saying like they actually have men and women's cabins, whether you're married or not. Like they actually, they sleep separately. So if it's like, I don't know how it works, but like whatever time in their cycle, then you get to go stay in the hut with them. And like, that's how it's always been, is like sex is for procreation. It's not for recreation. And
interesting. Okay.
And now guess what?
Now it's just whenever you want it, baby, because there's been a lot more sexual aggressive behavior lately, mostly because they've been this is hilarious. I love this quote. We're worried young people are going to want to try it, he said of the kinky sex acts they've suddenly been exposed to on screen. So basically they're just like searching like BDSM on Pornhub and like, whoa, right. That's crazy.
They're doing the shit that we did like 6 episodes ago where it's like whistle play. It's like,
yeah. Really trying to figure out how that works. Yeah.
You both dress up in leather and just fuck with whistles. I don't know.
They're gonna have like a chainsaw motor on a dildo and just crank it up.
No, honestly, like speaking personally, like I don't know.
Those are amazing.
Dude, I don't know what your experience with pornography was, but I'm sure it was way different than mine.
Yeah, I never had a magazine. Like, and I feel like I'm part of the first generation that was like that. I never had to sneak a Playboy. a
Yeah.
Maxim, a Hustler, you know,
No,
a
mine was
Penthouse.
it was a Variations. It was called Variations.
Wait, what?
And
That was the name of the porn magazine, Variations.
yeah, but it
Classy.
was but the thing about it is it wasn't like a full-size magazine. It was more like a Reader's Digest, but it was thick and it actually had like the stories in it and everything, but then it had like illustrations. Um But no, I hid it down in the woods, and whenever I wanted to jack it, I just like climbed the fence and went and got the magazine.
Are these the
It
same
was
woods
like,
that you guys lit on fire with a homemade pipe bomb?
oh no, no, no.
No,
These
different
were
woods.
my woods. I would never pipe on my own
Oh,
woods.
okay, gotcha. You're responsible.
Yeah, I'm responsible. I was 14.
Right.
Um, but no, like then a couple of my friends had like VHS tapes,
Mm,
and
classic.
like we kind of passed them around because I had a VHS in my room,
Yeah.
and we kind of did it that way. And then the DVDs started coming out, and I was like, well, I don't have a DVD player. What do I do? I was like, back to the VHS. But
I think
but
it's
it
funny
was
because I never had the VHS tapes, but I do remember when I was a kid. I didn't even know this was a thing until somebody described it later on. Like I didn't know what was actually happening. But there used to be like channels between channels on cable or something, and almost
well,
I
that's what
guess.
I was about to tell you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so there's like a way. I guess there was like a way, like a radio dial, to like get to the
Well,
3.5 channel or something.
yeah, no, it's like a pay-per-view channel,
Right.
but there were always pay-per-view channels, and it you didn't have to pay for it if you paid this guy like $90 to come install this box. And
Nice.
my dad paid to have this box installed, and it was cool because I got the new Harry Potter movies when they came out. Like
That's pretty cool.
I got yeah, we got anything that we wanted because there were like 5 pay-per-view channels, but 2 out of the 5 were pornographic. And
Nice.
yeah, buddy. And then, like, let's just say whenever my parents weren't home, I would just light a couple candles, turn that dial 2 times to the right, and we'll
Right.
see what's on.
No.
But
I also
like
missed
those
the paid programming at 4 a.m. after Comedy Central was done, and then it was just Girls Gone Wild. Those are the times,
right,
baby.
watching felonies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what was his name? Joe Francis. He
Yeah.
went
I
way
don't
down.
remember. Yeah, he did, dude. They got him hard. I mean,
He went
you're
way
playing
down.
with fire there if you're just trusting every girl that says they're 18 years old in Panama City in 2005
No
when there's no way to verify
no
anything.
shit.
Yeah.
And everybody, no, they just give you a fake ID. They're like, all right, go suck some dick.
Right. Well, I thought it was wasn't it all girl on girl? Was it ever girl on guy?
The actual videos were all girls, but like what happened after the camera was
video.
shut off? Yeah,
Right. Okay.
that's
Now it's
when
our
they got in
turn.
trouble for. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, gotta be careful.
Because
Man.
they fucked with the wrong people. Like I think one of the daughters was from Georgia, one of the daughters was from North Carolina, one of the daughters was from Tennessee, and they were like 16. And
Woo! That's not good.
yeah, that's not good at all. And look, I'm all good. Like Girls Gone Wild, it's a good concept. But
plays pretty
but
well.
but you're playing with fire.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the actual industry in California where like everybody they like take their blood types and they test them weekly. Like it's basically the least sexiest thing possible.
Yeah, they do that now. It's like it's actually it's terrible. Like they literally they draw their blood twice a week. Like they actually they have to go to a gyno like at least once a week.
They get
like,
sterilized like in a clean room, like people going to the moon and stuff.
Right. Right.
It's a whole thing.
They have a Clorox bleach. TM.
Hashtag not sponsored. How funny would it be if we got a Clorox bleach sponsorship?
But they have a Clorox bleach douche 3 times a week.
Clean up your life, not your podcast.
No shit.
Use the official bleach of the Dickin' Around podcast. Clorox bleach.
Hang on. Ting.
Ting. Nah. Smile. Ting. Love that.
And my tongue's white.
My asshole is. Oh wait. So the so yeah, Girls Gone Wild. Great in theory.
It
Terrible
was
in
great
practice.
in theory. But
the idea was, dude, let's get on it. Yeah, exactly.
There's no way to put that. There's no way to put it together.
No, I mean, long term, they were destined to fail.
You can't protect. Yeah, you can't. It's like bum fights. You can't.
Right. It's exactly. I was gonna say that earlier. Like it's kind of the same thing. I'm curious how many seasons of Girls Gone Wild are there? Wild Art.
His name's Joe Francis, and he had a private jet. Like he had speedboats with Girls Gone Wild. Like it was pretty wild what he did.
Wait, hold on. MTV redid it? This is saying that starting in 2013 to present, there's a Girls Gone Wild. Did they bring it back?
I'm sure it's not in the same capacity.
It looks like. Hold on. That doesn't even make sense. It looks up to like 2019. They had these. Oh my god. The episode titles are something else. But yeah. Oh Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I guess they kept doing them, but this I don't understand. This said this is No, I thought it said MTV, sorry. It just says TV. So, I don't know, but like where were they putting them on? I don't understand where they were putting them on TV.
No, they were doing pay-per-view. They were doing like I think they actually had like a more, it was like a PG-13 version on HBO or something like that. And
anyway.
They showed the tits, but nobody was making sandwiches, if you feel me. Like,
yeah, that ratio is way off. But it looks like they had the documentary was Girls Gone Wild Exposed. That came out in 2022. But I think he'd already gone to jail by then, right?
Yeah. No, I think he went to jail like almost 10 years ago.
Lawsuits and criminal charges. Wow, as early as 2003. But that was more like for commercial stuff. And then 2008, 4 women claimed they suffered emotional distress. 2011, an all-female jury declined to award damages to the plaintiffs. What? That's crazy. Well, that's fucking crazy. They were like, they say nobody hates women like women. There it is.
I was about to use a different term, but yeah, like
this is just wild, though, man.
Bitches don't like bitches.
Yeah, that's crazy. 2015 civil settlement also involved Francis agreeing to save. Yeah, it doesn't talk about like it doesn't really talk about him going to jail though. When did he go to jail?
No. I think he actually fled the country and then he came back.
Oh, did he? He pulled like he kind of pulled like a who's the guy, the WikiLeaks guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's similar, but like he had his own jet. Like I can go wherever I want to.
Right. Well, yeah, he had that Girls Got Wild money.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
It's not fuck you, it's not fuck me money. It's Girls Gone Wild money.
Right, exactly.
I can gas up the jet and baby, I can go wherever I like.
What was his name? Joe Francis. I wonder what his thing. Dude, he kind of looks like a creep. I'm not gonna lie.
He does, dude. And I never bought anything of his because I told you I've never bought pornography.
Right. And you never should, by the way, kids.
I've never bought pornography. I've never paid to have sex, and I never will. But Like those late night Comedy Central, like whenever they went off the air, which was a thing when you were a young whippa, as Samuel L. would say. When you were a young whippa.
Whippa is our word. You can say whipper.
Oh, whipper.
I just love using that phrase. Sorry,
snapper.
I used it last week too, and I know you fucking lost it. I forgot what I said too, but yeah, I was a whippa.
When you were just a snapper. No, he got what I was saying.
I threw you off.
No, the like Comedy Central would go off the air at like 10 p.m. and or 11 p.m. or whatever, and the TV was still on, and then all they would play for like 4 to 6 hours would be this kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. That and or like Nutrisystem commercials. Like it was always something. It was always like some sort of health thing. I don't understand that. Like the only way you could sell health products is at 3 a.m. for some reason. I've never understood that.
Like the slap chop. Like,
yeah, the sham wow. But it would be like Bowflex. So it'd be like Chuck, like 80-year-old Chuck Norris would get on television to be like, "I'm fucking amazing. It's because of Bowflex," and you're like, and then they just do that for an hour. I don't know how you talk about it for an hour, but they did.
And he would be working out on a Bowflex where he's side piping on his gym shorts,
smoking a cigar.
Yeah, like no,
dude, how old is he now? He's like late 80s, early 90s. He's like old as fuck.
I know Eastwood is. I think.
No, Eastwood's like Chuck 93. Norris. Chuck Norris is 84.
84. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. He looks amazing, dude. He looks fucking phenomenal.
So maybe get your dick sucked on a Bowflex, and
you could live as long. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's 94 now. It's funny. I type in Clint Eastwood, and the little like quick bio thing that comes up is former mayor of Carmel by the Sea, which that is a true story. He ran for mayor of the town in California where he lived. But it's funny that that's all it says. It doesn't say actor, director, or anything else. It just says former mayor. Like he's just this like small time politician that just happens to have his own Wikipedia page.
But I'm actually like I'm part of the generation that I was never really. I'm not really a fan of either one of them.
Yeah, it was a little before our time. I mean, Clint Eastwood, I was never like a huge Clint Eastwood fan, and I never really got into the like the spaghetti western scene, I guess if you will. So like I've never seen like Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, Ugly, all that. I've never seen that. Never saw $1 Million Baby, it was just never my thing. I saw Gran Turismo or Gran Torino, whatever. That was what I saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's actually crazy because he's like in a lot of like movies like that. Like he's in a lot of like hard movies like Gran Torino and like Fistful of Dollars, whatever. But then he's also in like Trouble with the Curve. And like Barney's Playhouse. Like, he's just like random like children's movies just about. He's kind of got a weird career like that. But yeah, Chuck Norris, I never watched Walker, Texas Ranger on TV but when I was born, by the time I was watching TV like that, it was the early 2000s and that shit was long gone. I was watching Ned's Declassified.
I was never into Bruce Lee, but he was the final boss for Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. And
is that the one with the tower, or is that? I never remember the one with the tower.
I think
because it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was depending on because there's like 30 different cuts for that movie.
I know, but there was this. The scene was before they started fighting. There was just a kitten, like a little orange kitten, that just like they were like sizing each other up and doing whatever, and the kitten went where, and they started fighting.
That's all that Josh remembers from that movie. What's funny is something I didn't know about Bruce Lee, that he suffered from back pain like his entire life from like an injury, and he smoked marijuana like all the time. Like was constantly smoking pot, and I think he did other drugs too. I don't know really how hard he got with them. Like I don't know if he was like dropping heroin or anything, but he was just constantly, smoking marijuana all the time. Which in this, which in the 70s, I mean, it's part of the culture thing, but like, was still like it's Hollywood, so like he got away with it, but like that was still like kind of a big deal at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, once upon a time in Hollywood, um, that's one of the looks, and they said it's a real story where the stuntman for the actual actor whooped the shit out of Bruce Lee because he was talking shit.
Really?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
never.
in the Tarantino film, it's Brad Pitt. So
Right. Yeah,
um,
I know he plays like the actor stuntman. I've never seen it, but
yeah,
like I know the.
he's the stuntman. But according to the writers and how it was going, Bruce Lee's family actually tried to sue them for different
What?
things
For what?
and for defamation and things like that.
Huh.
And you can
So
look that
that's kind
up,
of wild.
but yeah, it had nothing to do with the actors in the movie, but the writers are like, no, we checked it, and that's what everybody said happened. Like Bruce Lee got a little mouthy and got his ass whooped on set.
Yeah, you're right. Uh, the title is Tarantino slams Bruce Lee's widows. 1978 claimed that kung fu was stolen from Lee's warrior. Okay. Anyway, I guess there's a whole thing here, but
No, it was
yeah,
the whole thing. Like it just shows Brad Pitt beating up Bruce Lee.
it's
And
pretty wild.
nobody was a fan of the movie, but all the writers stood up for it. They were like, "No, we checked this out, and it actually happened."
Dude,
Like,
so here's the thing. So this is random because this is I know I never saw The Crow, and I know everybody says it's a really good movie. Obviously, that's his son Brandon Lee. They're coming out with a new one. Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
I haven't seen the first one, and no, I haven't seen the
I
trailer.
haven't seen the original Crow. Everybody says it's a really fucking good movie, and we should probably do our homework and watch it. Like that should be our homework for the week. Watch The Crow. But dude, the trailer for the new Crow, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have like I said, I don't have the context of the old movie. Nobody yell at me. But the trailer for the new one, I gotta say, it looks kind of fucking good. So it's got one of the Skarsgårds is in it. I forget which one it is.
I love the Skarsgårds.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. I know you. That's all. Like you got to watch this trailer, man. It's pretty legit.
Dude, I love the Skarsgårds. Which
I
one
know.
is it? Bill? Is it the young one, the blonde
I
one?
think it's the young one. Yeah. The Crow trailer. And now, who is he? The son of the older one, or like a nephew or something?
No, they're all brothers. There's like 6 brothers.
Yeah, it's Bill. It's the young. It's the younger one. How was he the brother of the older Skarsgård?
Dude, there's
Like how is he the
there's like a
how is he
six-
the brother of the
like a
Stellan?
it's like me and my brother. It's like there's like a 15-year gap or an 18-year gap.
Huh. Hold on. Let me do Stellan Skarsgård. Let's look at his Wikipedia. Who the fuck are his parents? Because I wanna put this to bed right now. I wanna put this to bed right fucking now. Let's see. No, I don't see it in here. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Personal life.
Because you know my guy, like Thundercat likes Bill, the one that was in Castle
I like
Rock.
I like all of them. They're all dude. Stellan Skarsgård is
like
I think Stellan Skarsgård might be one of the best actors of all time. Like, and that's not an
Which one is
exaggeration.
that? Is that the one?
He's the
that I
older
like?
one.
The one
He's
that-
the older one. He's the old.
So the one that was in Generation Kill.
I don't know if he. I never saw Generation Kill. I don't know if he's in Generation Kill, but I do know like he's in like shit. I'm trying to think of what you've seen him in. He's in Let me just pull up his filmography real. No, I pulled up. Damn it! I typed in Bill instead of Stellan. Hold on.
Bill's the most famous.
He's in.
100%.
He's in. Apparently, he's in Good Will Hunting. He's also in Mamma Mia. He plays Bootstrap Bill in Pirates of the Caribbean. He's in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo because everybody in Sweden was in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Let's see. I'm trying to think what you would know him from. He's in The Hunt for Red October. Apparently. I didn't know that.
Well, let me look.
He's in Insomnia. Have you ever seen Insomnia? It's kind of a famous
Stellan
one.
Skarsgård. Let's see.
I'm trying to think of like what he's the most known for here. I mean, he's probably the most known for Andor currently, because like that's what he was been. That's like, but you never watched Andor, so you wouldn't fucking know. Just type in like when you see him, you'll recognize him. Like the second you see him, you recognize him. He's also in Dune. He played Vladimir Harkonnen in Dune, but you also don't watch or don't care about Dune because you're a loser.
And he's also the father of Thor and Loki in the Avengers.
Oh yeah, there's also that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he's Bill the Young Skarsgård. He's plays. Dude, you pull up the Crow trailer while you're at it.
You say he's the
Just
young Skarsgård?
No, I'm saying no. Never mind. Just forget it. So enough about the Skarsgårds.
First of all, they're a national treasure
of which country?
The Icelandic folk.
Yeah, they're all exceptionally talented. So I'm looking forward to the Crow.
Look, Thundercat's favorite is younger than that, but the one that played in Vikings.
Alexander Skarsgård?
Yeah, the one that played Floki.
He played Floki?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I always thought I liked Floki's it's funny because I always liked the acting, but I never really liked the character of Floki because I was like, he's just kind of a weird dude.
Yeah, like
yeah, he was such a weird guy, but like,
yeah,
I guess
I never liked that part. But when he had to show up, he would show up.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Goddamn ass.
100%, and he was acted very well. He just apparently was just a psychopath or something, which was
that
was acted.
Yeah, he was a Skarsgård.
Yeah,
and
but I guess he was. But you know what? He was also more of like a creative type because he was like the shipbuilder and like he was like the. You don't fuck around with the gods.
He's the one that took Ragnar and his son out.
Right.
Like, hey, do you see this? Like, do you see this? And he's like, do you know what this does? He's like, this.
Why is that? Why is that what he says all the time?
That's what he did. Is it not what he did?
I don't know. I don't remember that from the show.
He's like dancing around.
Yeah,
like,
no, he's being weird as fuck. I don't know why he's like a sugar plum fairy or whatever the fuck you're doing, but yeah.
Right. He's like, this is the bow of a ship. Me. And then,
I can't fucking like what?
That's what he did. Go back and watch it.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. That's too funny.
This is one of those things to where like I'm watching Boardwalk Empire right now, and I'm like, how did this one character turn into a fucking cartoon character? And this is like it's the difference where in Vikings, Floki, he started as a cartoon character and turned into a normal character.
No, I would argue that he started as a cartoon character and evolved into a cartoon character of himself. Like, he just became progressively more crazy as the series went on.
Maybe.
But,
I mean,
anyway.
He was never my number one person, but anyway.
I mean, Ragnar all the way. Come on. Bjorn's pretty, Bjorn's pretty good, too.
If you're not a Ragnar guy, go fuck yourself. I mean,
also, and who was Princess Aslog? All day. All day.
You like Aslog?
Oh, 100%. She's crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like, she's on the Vicky Mendoza diagonal of hot and crazy, but she's just the perfect amount of both.
No, I liked his original wife. What was her name? Lagertha.
Lagertha, yeah, she's pretty good too. Don't get me wrong. She's like a ride or die. She's the one you wife up. He just fucked up by.
Oh yeah, she's the one. She's like, no, I'll show up to the battle, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, your enemies are my enemies. Let's do it.
Yeah, I won't be home getting like I'm not waiting to fuck you. We're gonna do this together.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, another show that fell off really quick. I feel like I didn't like after season like 3 or 4. Just like, eh.
No,
It kind of turned into like
after they killed Ragnar, that was it for me.
I stopped watching before then, but it slowly turned into the CW presents Vikings.
Right. And they before they killed Ragnar, they turned him into a pussy. And that's not what went on.
Well, I guess to be fair, nobody really knows what went on, so it's hard to put
Well,
one way or the other.
that interpretation doesn't fly with me. Can we go with that?
Oh, that's fine. That's acceptable. We got
Yeah.
a couple more stories. Let's go ahead and touch on them. Let's talk about Shiloh Sanders for a second. I feel like it's kind of in line with the whole episode. Why don't you paint us that picture?
Who is Shiloh Sanders?
He's the guy. He's Jesus Christ, Deion Sanders' son at Colorado.
Oh, the one that filed for bankruptcy.
The one that filed for bankruptcy, yeah. No, this is the guy. Now I know he's got 2 sons. I think is this the quarterback or is this the wide receiver?
This is neither. This is the cornerback.
Does he have 3 sons?
I think he has 2. I think he has. I know
maybe one's a cornerback and not a wide. I thought he was a receiver, but same thing. Cornerback.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, he's on the defensive side of the ball, but
right.
No, it filed for bankruptcy for almost $12 million,
which is hilarious.
And it was for his because it just goes away now. But
right.
it was because when he was in high school, because of the NIL thing, like this is going to be a residual effect that happens to these players that get in trouble is they're going to have to say how much they're worth and how much they're going to think that they're worth. And he thought it was a good idea to say, well, I've already signed all these contracts. I'm going to be worth 10 mil a year. So he settled out of court for almost $12 million. And when it comes to fruition and you don't make that money,
right,
and daddy says, I'm not paying your bill, you file for bankruptcy. And bankruptcy, it has its ups and downs. Like you can file for it, but just because he filed for it doesn't mean he's going to get it.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes when you file for bankruptcy, that actually gives creditors extra time to attach to that case. You're like, no, he owes more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever MasterCard he's ran up in the last year and a half, he's gonna have to pay us now.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, man.
It really is, but I don't know. What do you feel about like Deion primetime? What do you think about him saying like, I'm not paying that for you, kid? Like, I know I have like 100 times that amount, but I'm not doing it for you, kid.
Well, I mean, look, it's related to. So this is what I don't understand about this case. It says tied to assault. So like, was he criminally convicted for assault, or is this a civil suit for assault?
Which I don't know all the details, but I believe from what I read that he was actually criminally convicted for assault.
Right.
And then they took him to civil court too.
Right. So I don't blame Prime for doing that. Like if your son did something wrong, like and it's not like, he didn't just like break a vase. He assaulted people as, and well above the age. I mean, I don't know how old he was in 20. Let's see, he's 21 now. So in 2015, he was in high school. So he was like 14 or 15 years old. Right. He's still a kid, but at 15 years old, not to assault people. Like, and I'm not saying, you don't go to jail for the rest of your life for that either. I'm just saying, like, you do know better.
The Catholic Church actually believes that right or wrong at what, like 9?
I think it's like 8 or 9 or something. It's the age of reason.
So
something like that.
Yeah, it's the age of reason, but like, I mean, everyone that is a person knows that you know fucking right or wrong, and it's not 15. It's before
Right.
that.
It's before that. I mean, yeah, I would say, yeah, about, it's different for everybody, but about 10 years old or so. Somewhere between 10 and 12. You've got it fucking narrowed down. You know?
Yeah. You that's when you start negotiating with yourself, like, is this worth it?
Right, exactly.
But
Exactly. Now, I would say, yeah, I'm on Prime's side, man. Let them fucking pay for it themselves. Let them figure it out. Like, you dug yourself this hole. Now get out of it.
now let me play the other side of it real quick, because
Go for it.
the only reason why someone would go after a civil suit after a 15-year-old is because they know that either their parents are worth money,
Right.
or they're going to be worth money soon.
Yeah, 100%. I get, and I agree with you on that. It is kind of I don't know, dirty for them to do that, but at the same time, don't assault people.
Well, I know, but I'm saying there are situations where, and I don't know, I didn't read too deeply into this, but at the same time, like, as long as it's not like assault on a female, like domestic violence or
right,
anything
sexual
like that,
assault, something like that.
sexual assault, like, you get in a fist fight and you win, and then it costs you
yeah.
$12 million.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. That's a little ridiculous.
I've been in those situations, and it's like, I've never been convicted, and it's never been to a civil suit. It's just like, take your ass whooping.
Well, here's the other thing. This is the other thing too. So the crazy part about this case, I don't know the particulars of the case, but they also, like, a judge sat there and said, now you owe him $12 million. Like, the judge could have been like, could have easily agreed with you and be like, he's 15 years old and he beats somebody up. He doesn't owe you $12 million. Like, it just makes me think that, like, something else happened. Like, there's more to this story than we know. But it's just the fact of it itself, like, the big part of this story that's kind of like that he's kind of doing wrong. It's not just the fact that he filed bankruptcy, is that he wasn't really reporting his earnings to the court either. All he did, he reported assets that he currently has, but he didn't report any NIL deals that he has either. So, like, he basically, like, didn't report his income. He just reported his current assets. So that's why the court's like, something's a little suspicious here, buddy. So he just files for bankruptcy, hoping it all goes away so that he doesn't have to disclose any of that information. And maybe he does that. Like, maybe his lawyers advised him to do that, because it's like, if you get it out there that you have $30 million in NIL deals, then who knows who else is going to sue you for sneezing on them wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So maybe it's a legit thing. Maybe it's not.
All over again. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But, yeah, like, you can't get your dick sucked at Colorado anymore.
No, neither can I. It's a whole
no, I mean,
neither can you.
Well, legally, I cannot.
Nope.
But none of this actually happened in Colorado, so
right. Dude, Annie is cooking something that smells amazing. I have no idea what she's doing over there, but I'm really hungry. It's a good thing there's only 7 minutes left in the show.
I'm hungry too. But no, as far as that whole, like, the Shiloh Sanders thing goes, it's fishy. Like you said, like, you played pro, I played con, but at the same time, a 21-year-old that files for bankruptcy, no matter how much money you have, you, like, your spendability, I don't know if it's explained to him, but your spendability is almost zero. Like, unless you have the cash to buy something, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's well, I think he does. I don't know what I don't know exactly what his long-term plan is.
Maybe that's the way. But maybe that's the way around, is, he's getting away from this because it will make it go away, and he's going to have to live with it for whatever it is, like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah,
whatever
I don't know how long it applies. And then is it like you can only apply for? Is it you can only apply for bankruptcy like 3 times in your lifetime or something?
Well,
there's like weird rules to it.
Yeah, it depends on, like, you can do different chapters.
Yeah.
So like chapter 11 is probably what he went with, which
Right.
is I don't have any fucking money. I can't pay this shit.
Right.
So
I think chapter 11 is
like
just simple math. Like my debts outweigh my assets.
right. And then you have like chapter 12, which is someone has it's basically like predatory loans and things like that, like get them
Right.
off my back.
Subprime
And
mortgages, stuff like that.
exactly. It's like anything that happened between like 2007 and 2013
Yeah,
is
it's
chapter
gone.
13.
It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. You're out of here.
Right.
Um
Angel,
and
throw
then
him out.
and then yeah. Ting ting.
Yeah.
But and then chapter 13, I believe, is like where you have a lot of money and you're trying to protect it with offshore accounts and like you're not trying to pay your capital gains and shit like that. And they caught you. And like it
Yeah.
actually helps you because then you actually cite someone that was like your financial manager that didn't pay it or
Right.
whatever. And they go to jail and then you keep everything.
Right.
Um
Well, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. I may or
well,
may not have
I'm
followed for chapter 13 or 15 or.
Well, I'm just saying, like I'm actually going through it right now. Like I know the different chapters, but
You're going through
um,
bankruptcy right now?
no, I'm not going through bankruptcy. I'm going through like handling a big estate,
Oh,
and
okay. I was so confused. I was like, wait,
no,
what?
different no different people involved are like in different levels of their financial statements,
I gotcha.
and um, that, like bankruptment hasn't come up for me, but it's come up for other people, and it's just one of those things to where you have to understand if you're going to accept a large sum of money, you have to pay the taxes and your back taxes and all this,
Right.
and you're gonna have to do this. So in order to do this, you have to set it up this way or set up that way,
Right.
and it's my dad had really good lawyers, really good, and I will tell you it's not me, but it's somebody directly involved in the will, and we're having to try and figure out who is like who's going to take care of this shit because it's not going to be me,
Right.
and it's going to be there's taxes to be paid and I don't owe them, so I'm not going to jail, and we don't want this person to go to jail. But if they have to go to jail, we don't really care. But we're giving the best advice we can.
Hmm. I wonder who
But
that could be.
I,
Yeah. I guess. Well, I guess on that note, it's time to enter the chop shop.
on that note,
All right, here it is. It's playing it. It's playing it.
the chop show.
So the chop shop, baby. So Caitlin Clark gets a rare chop on the chop shop
She
for
does
being
get a chop.
a wuss. Gotta get out there and play the game, Caitlin. Gotta get out there and play the game.
It's not for being a wuss. It's like, look, at least get a few years under your belt before
Right,
you start
before you start
saying
talking
I'm
shit.
Jordan.
Jimmy Kimmel gets a chop.
Actually, look, I take that chop back because she didn't put LeBron in that.
Okay, fair enough. At least she's not acting like LeBron either. So
yeah, no, she went straight Jordan Bird Magic, which is, I mean,
if you're a true basketball fan, that's your top three.
I mean, if you throw Kobe in there, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
LeBron is the chop threshold.
All right, I get you. She gets a little pass on that. All right.
No, she gets a butt tap. She gets a butt tap. Like, show us some more nudes.
Stephen A gets a chop. Jimmy Kimmel gets a chop. Bryce Harper chop. Philadelphia chop. Who else? Who else is on the shit list today? Anything else you could think of?
Well, we said Stephen A.
Yeah. I think that's all the prime candidates for today's episode.
Is it? Let me
Think
look
so.
back.
Roll the
Shiloh
tape.
Sanders.
Yeah. Chop, yeah. Don't assault people. Chop. I mean, I know you're 15, but like, figure it out, kid. Can't be assaulted.
Stop. Yeah, stop hitting people. Chop.
That's a pretty like basic one, I think.
Yeah. Elon Musk. Chop. So,
No. Elon Musk gets an award. He's going to the Dick Hall of Fame. Those Maruba tribes people would never have been addicted to pornography without him.
Sorry, Brazilian tribe. Chop.
Yep.
Get it together.
Yeah. Just use YouTube for the intellectual knowledge you can gain.
And the president of Mexico. Chop.
Well, potentially. Assuming she killed her opponent, chop.
Well, we have to assume, right? Because they don't really have a justice system. So.
All right, we said we weren't going to talk about this. We're done. All right, so thanks for the episode, guys. thanks for dicking around as always. Thank you, Thundercat. Thank you, Siren. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bayes. Thank you, everybody on TikTok. Something Wong. Whoever the fuck you are, thank you so much for joining us today. Catch us on all the socials. Catch us on the podcast platforms, the YouTube, the Twitch, obviously, that's a big one. TikTok is the other big one. You're on TikTok anyway. It's fine. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Keep digging around. Keep digging around with us. Keep digging around without us. Give us money. Bye. Peace.